Ashley was dealing with job interview anxiety when her interviewer's charismatic and friendly presence brought unexpected relief. However, an awkward incident occurred when he accidentally knocked over a picture frame from the table, revealing a photo of Ashley's mother. The connection between her life and that peculiar man became an intriguing mystery about to unfold. Ashley woke up that morning with an unusual excitement. The decision to resume her professional career after taking a break for her twin children had been made with conviction. Now, at 4 years old, the little ones were ready for new challenges, just like her. She prepared for the interview awaiting her at a renowned company, aware that her time away from the corporate world could bring some anxiety and a whirlwind of expectations. But Ashley was determined to face these challenges because she knew she was ready to start anew and make her mark again in the professional world. After dropping the boys off at school, Ashley took a deep breath before heading to the interview. She parked her car in front of the imposing commercial building that housed the company. But before stepping out, she took a few precious minutes to review her personal presentation. She went over every possible question and prepared sharp answers, anticipating the potential interview scenarios. Ashley arrived a little early and had to wait in the reception area, closely observing the hustle and bustle of busy people coming in and out of the building, all impeccably dressed and immersed in their smartphones, oblivious to the world around them. It was then that a peculiar figure caught her attention as he entered through the building's doors. He was a man in his 40s, standing out from the rest, starting with his more casual attire. He had a backpack on his back, sneakers on his feet, and carried a cyclist helmet in one hand. "Good morning, Isabel. What a wonderful morning, don't you think?" He greeted the receptionist with a warm smile. As she watched from afar, Ashley noticed how he greeted everyone, from the doorman to the cleaning crew, and even the people absorbed in their electronic devices. There was something about him that set him apart from the rest, an aura of authenticity and kindness. "You're here for the interview, aren't you? Just give me a few minutes to prepare, and I'll call you in shortly. By the way, I'm Thomas," he said, extending his hand to greet Ashley with a friendly smile. Certainly, the presence of that friendly man contributed to Ashley feeling more at ease with the upcoming interview. When she was called in and entered Thomas's office, she immediately noticed the difference in decoration. An impressive collection of trophies and medals adorned one wall, while photos of Thomas competing in races or cycling filled the space around. "Wow, you must be quite an athlete to accumulate so many medals," Ashley commented, impressed. "Most of them are participation awards. I never really make it to the top spots, but that's never been my main goal. I just really enjoy the feeling of being alive and participating," replied Thomas, with a sparkle in his eyes that conveyed his passion for an active life and the simple joy of engaging in challenging activities. The interview proceeded pleasantly. Before her career break, Ashley had been a competent and dedicated professional. She had stayed updated and continued studying all this time. She was fully prepared to face the challenges the position would require. Her knowledge and skills shone during the conversation, making it clear that her time away from the job market had not affected her passion and commitment to her career. As the interview was about to conclude, Thomas accidentally knocked over a picture frame while shuffling some papers. Ashley bent down to pick it up and was startled to see the photo inside. It was a picture of her late mother. Confused, she quickly placed the picture frame back on the table. Fortunately, the interview was coming to an end, as the young woman could no longer focus on anything else being said. "Ashley, Ashley," called Thomas. "I was saying that my secretary will get in touch with you to arrange the start date. Congratulations, you're hired." The news of the job offer echoed in Ashley's mind, but her head was still spinning with the surprise of the unexpected discovery. As she thanked Thomas for the opportunity, she could barely contain the flood of emotions that arose when thinking about the mystery of that photo on her future boss's desk. On her way back home, Ashley tried to unravel the connection between her late mother, who had passed away 8 years ago, and that intriguing man. Her mother, a beloved teacher at a local school, had left a legacy of kindness and dedication. She had created a social project for vulnerable children, which had received widespread recognition in the community. Among the various possibilities running through Ashley's mind, one seemed to gain more strength. Perhaps Thomas had been one of her mother's beloved students. In the first days at the new company, Ashley dove headfirst into learning her new responsibilities and duties. Quickly, she formed friendships with her coworkers. However, the doubt persisted in her mind. What could be the connection between Thomas and her mother? She wondered if perhaps she had misunderstood the situation, if the photo was just of someone who resembled her mother. This hypothesis soon dissipated when she remembered that the same photo was in a picture frame in her own home. It was the image that had been widely circulated when her mother passed away in a tragic car accident. The tragedy had reverberated throughout the community, with local newspapers and internet portals reporting the incident. Her mother, known and beloved for her tireless work in social projects and for her kindness, left an immeasurable void in the lives of those who knew her. Ashley noticed something interesting among her new coworkers. It was common to hear praise about Thomas and his ability to lead and manage the company's business. Surprisingly, there didn't seem to be a single negative criticism about the boss. In a typical work environment, it was common to hear gossip or complaints about superiors, but with Thomas, it was different. One day, during a family event, Ashley was talking to an uncle about her return to work and the new company where she was employed. When she mentioned that her boss was Thomas, her uncle couldn't hold back his words. "Oh my, Ashley, I'm sorry you're working with Thomas. I worked with him about 10 years ago, and let me tell you, he was really unbearable, arrogant, and ill-tempered. The worst boss I ever had," her uncle confided. Ashley was shocked to hear her uncle's account of the same man she knew. But when she showed her uncle a photo, there were no doubts. It was the same Thomas. What could have happened over the years to so drastically transform the boss she knew? The young woman had been seeking subtle opportunities to address the issue of the photo with Thomas. She didn't want to seem intrusive, especially considering he was her boss. With each interaction, she weighed her words carefully, looking for the right moment and the most appropriate approach to bring up her curiosity without causing discomfort. On a typical workday, Ashley, who worked in the finance department, was summoned by Thomas for a meeting about the company's budget. As they discussed the financial reports, Ashley noticed something intriguing. A significant portion of the company's profits was being allocated to institutions and social projects, including the project her mother had founded. This revelation sparked Ashley's curiosity, and she saw it as a careful opportunity to address the issue of her mother's photo on Thomas's desk. She sought to find the right moment to ask about how her boss knew her deceased mother and why she was so important as to have a prominently displayed photo on his desk. "From the reports, I see you're a very generous person, supporting various social projects," commented Ashley, trying to broach the subject delicately. "You know, I wasn't always like this. I used to be quite selfish and petty," replied Thomas, as if recalling past times. "It took something truly monumental happening in my life for me to change. From a very young age, I found out I had a very serious heart condition," continued Thomas, revealing an intimate aspect of his life. "Because of that, I couldn't play sports and my activities were limited. It made me deeply bitter, and I took out my frustrations on everyone around me." Ashley listened with rapt attention, hoping at some point Thomas's story would intertwine with that of her mother. "When my condition worsened, only a heart transplant could give me any hope of life, but the chances of finding a match were minimal," Thomas continued, his voice laden with emotion. "That's when something happened. I call it a miracle, but for one family, it was a tragedy. A heart became available from a woman involved in a car accident. At that moment, Ashley's heart raced. A sensation of disbelief, mixed with a strange understanding, began to wash over her. The connection between Thomas and her mother seemed to unfold before her eyes, leaving her stunned and filled with a complex mix of emotions. Thomas picked up the picture frame with Ashley's mother's photo and held it reverently. "This was the woman who gave me the chance to live again," he said, his voice filled with gratitude and respect. "When I learned more about her story and how kind-hearted she was, I realized I had a responsibility. I needed to honor the gift she gave me. I needed to become a better person and contribute to a better world, just as she did." He went on, explaining how, at the time of the transplant, the woman's family was deeply shaken by the accident and didn't want contact with the organ recipients. So he took the picture from an online posting and kept it prominently displayed on his desk ever since. "It's a constant reminder for me," Thomas concluded, his eyes shining with emotion. "A reminder to be kind, grateful, and generous to those around me in tribute to the memory and legacy of this heroic woman." Ashley was deeply moved by Thomas's story and the reverence with which he treated her mother's memory. Thomas noticed the emotion on Ashley's face, and then she revealed that the kind woman was actually her mother. "Ashley, I want you to know that I try to make the most of the gift this heart represents. Thanks to your mother, I can now play sports and dream about the future. I'd say, thanks to your mother's kind heart, I'm a better person today," he said, also touched. "I'm sure my mother would be happy to know that her heart lives on in you," Ashley replied, tears welling up in her eyes, feeling a mix of gratitude and solace, knowing that her mother's legacy lived on through Thomas and his generosity. That chance encounter reinforced for both Ashley and Thomas how a legacy of kindness and generosity continues to bear fruit even after so much time. In a world where time can seem fleeting and bonds can fray, the memory of Ashley's mother remained alive, bringing with it a stream of positivity and inspiration that continues to impact lives.